Okay, the non-tangible for me
Mm-hmm.
is radical vulnerability.
Oh, my.
Radical.
Wow.
And I've been getting better and better at it, and it's making space for everything else, the joy.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, I thought about the New Year's resolution, and I was like, I just want to laugh more. The fact that I recognize that I don't laugh enough was a problem.
Yeah.
And so to me, radical vulnerability, it makes it really easier. Sometimes you don't want to have this difficult conversation, but what it does is hurting you much more than it would be the person this vulnerability is landing on.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's making me better and more human and not just because designers are almost objectified in a way that we're not real people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Hustle Adjacent podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Arianne.
And today we're going to talk about how to use the tools you have, primarily money, community, village, and all of that, to achieve this hustle adjacent soft life that we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were talking about it, we couldn't think of anybody that would be better to join us than superstar Michel Boyd.
Icon.
Mm. He actually had a show called Lux for Less.
Yeah.
On TV. He's all over the place. He smells so good. He's lovely. So he's here with us today, which we're so excited about.
Yeah.
And glad about it.
Yeah.
Yes, we love us some Michelle.
So we named
nobody better.
This episode Not a White Refrigerator.
Girl, we got to get you a home.
Yes. And we really thought it made us laugh, but more importantly, then to start opening up a real conversation, right? About money, softness, support, with respect to getting hustle adjacent.
Yeah.
So what we want to talk about today is how are we going to do that? Oh, how do we do it?
Yeah.
How do we start?
Right.
How do we do it? And just being real about it. This isn't a money flex-ish episode because we all come from very humble beginnings.
We do.
But it's also just trying to be very real.
Yeah.
Because people want to do this or want to whatever, and they don't know all the things we actually
do this job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, not just do this job, but, you know, a lot of our podcast is about getting off the hamster wheel, being hustle adjacent and having this soft life. And that requires resources to have a soft life. You know, whatever you define luxury as, which we'll talk about, it's like you do have to have those resources, and you can't have a stigma around or a judgment toward people who aspire to have luxury. We got to talk openly about it so you can make your own opinions and choose your own definition of luxury. And we thought you were perfect.
No, I've been listening to you guys a lot.
Yay.
And I feel like I have these conversations with myself in my head.
Yes.
So thank you for being the voices in my head.
You know what I want to start with is last week when we were having lunch, we were talking about all the things, but
very boozy lunch.
Of course, because
we were hot.
We were.
It was.
And we both had engagements after.
How could you?
Because I'm
a G.
I'm a G.
Right? Like,
I'm a dude like, oh.
You felt like a G at that meeting
We
after?
picked up the kid from carpool, and then I picked up my nephew from carpool.
And kept going.
Kept going.
And kept going.
It was good. We had a good time.
So what happened?
But one of the things we were talking about stuff, and you made a comment that I hadn't thought of in a way. I think people think of interior design. It's obviously a luxury. Like everybody can't have it. It's expensive, like whatever. But you made a comment. It was like, hey, being an interior designer is also a luxury.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's something that we do not talk about enough.
Yes.
And I think it's a great segue into us talking about how we got started and what resources or luxuries we already had that allowed us to take this leap. Like so it's just a lot of different things. So I think you should start.
I'm trying to decide how honest I want to be.
You want me to start?
Very honest.
I can start because mine's a little bit easier.
Go.
Yeah. I mean, I've already talked about, I obviously was a lawyer at a law firm. We lived off of one salary, so we were doing well enough, and we saved the other one or whatever. My husband's very frugal, so thank God for him, because otherwise I would have spent it all. But his point was like, you want to do this, you got to save money.
Yeah.
While you at that law firm, you have to save tens of thousands of dollars to supplement what we're going to lose with you starting. Like, because who knows what you're going to make initially, or if you go do an internship or whatever. I had to stay longer at the law firm to save that money so that when I didn't make any money for a very long time, I was able to contribute as needed.
Yeah.
Because we still needed the contribution at the time. And like, therefore, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to just stop.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to leave this $250,000 a year job and be like, that's just what I want to do. And so I think that's the stuff that people are talking about. And I have a partner, right?
Yeah.
Who's also going to keep working.
Also a luxury.
Exactly. I have this partner. He's working. He's picking up all the slack.
Yeah.
Of losing a job like that and supporting me at the same time, right? So that's all those little things that, you know, when people get up on stage and they talk about like, oh, I made this transition. But it wasn't easy. It was, I didn't start paying myself 6 figures probably for like 5.
I was going to ask how long it was for you.
Well, you know, I kind of was BSing with it for a few years, but I would say it definitely wasn't until like 2018, 2019. Yeah. And that was like, you know, I was probably doing like $100,001. Right. Versus, you know, it gets better and you get more perks with kind of write-offs and stuff like that. But
you also had the luxury of being on the West Coast in San Francisco.
That part.
And
that part.
You and I both know, she and I are from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And the fact is that client knows how much design is going to cost because it costs $1 billion to live in San Francisco.
Exactly
That's true.
To begin with.
That's exactly
I don't think I've ever said this to anyone other than probably my brother because he just knows. But I mean, the reason I say it's a luxury to be an interior designer as well is because it costs so fucking much money up front.
Yes.
To look the part, to study. I heard you guys talk about how difficult it was going to school in episode 1, right?
Yeah.
And if I knew how difficult that course was, I might not have done it.
Right.
I swear to you.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But even when I started, I had the luxury of having a partner at the time. I was with someone for 14 years. And what I brought in was really fucking secondary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but on the other side of that relationship, what was I thinking?
Right? Maybe he didn't suck.
I'm going to change my mind. But legitimately, that cushion allowed me to discover what my point of view was, how I wanted to deliver service, and also build the kind of clientele that I wanted to support what my vision is. Because to your point, again, I'm listening to you guys today, unless you have a client
that's going to pay,
that can actually pay and afford to execute the vision in your head and how you want to be received and what category you want to fall in, whatever you're delivering, you're in trouble. So I went to their school charity events. I went to their black tie events. I went to the fundraisers and all the places that girl or that guy was going to be to build this clientele.
That's right.
And I also looked like I belonged there.
Right. You got to have the type. You got to have the type.
I looked like I belonged there because I was, you know, where I had the luxury of figuring out who I wanted to be, which was massive at like 27.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that honesty because we know that a lot of people, when they tell their origin story, they don't share that they had a soft place to land, whether or not it worked.
Arianne.
That is like, to me, I could fly. I can soar because I know I'm going to have a net to catch me if I fall, right? And while I think there is a powerful motivator in having a why that's like, I won't eat tomorrow if I don't want, that you still also can move in a certain way if you don't have resources and you don't have, you know, support and a backing in this industry. There are other fields and things that you can do where you could be scrappy in that way. You can show up in a torn up t-shirt and just have a will and a dream and sell your product. But in this particular arena, you have to look the part. When I think about my origin story, you know, we love the fact that we both come from Louisiana. Good stock, right? But humble beginnings. And a part of the market that doesn't really have an understanding or appreciation for what it really costs to have luxury. So we're kind of fighting that battle. But I like to tell, from my perspective, especially because I'm in rooms with people who grew up where they understood design. They knew a designer. Their mom had hired a designer. They had traveled. So the baked in knowledge base of how big the world is, the baked in understanding of quality products and luxury, the baked in assumption that they could go to school and get a degree in something they had seen someone else who looked like them do. We did not have. That is a luxury that you would know when I graduate from high school, I can go to school for design.
Who knew that?
I didn't know what design was.
Didn't know that.
I didn't know.
I'm almost positive my grandmother was colorblind when I look back at these pictures. Her color mixing was crazy.
But you know, I feel like I'm so passionate as someone who has fought to grow in this industry and to gain access to tables to bring a different perspective, that is my responsibility to remind everyone in that room who, if 99% of them did not realize that was a privilege, I have to be that voice. Because then they may not look down at the person who's coming behind me, who is just trying to figure this thing out. Who's like, oh, I didn't know I could go to school for design, or I am the first in my family who ever went to school in design. So I don't have the clientele yet. I don't have the neighbors or the friends that I could call and be like, can I do your $2.5 million house as my first portfolio piece of work? It's going to have to be my apartment. That is my portfolio work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and taking my own pictures. I just did a post about like learning photography because I couldn't afford a photographer. And so I think that has to be a part of the luxury conversation as well, is that we have seen more, so we want more, and we aspire to have more, and we don't want there to be judgment behind what it costs to do things, or even that we want the luxury to enjoy the money we now make.
You guys make room to care about that? The judgment?
I'm the only one. She don't care.
She the only one. We trying to fix her.
I was there, and I have progressively moved past that.
She has to get over it.
That takes up too much space.
I know.
Just the other thing I would say that you say all this. So I have two things. One, I think that people who have other stories that make their entire living off of this from jump with no fallback, I just am in awe. Like, because I feel like this is such a roller coaster. It's amazing. It's impressive. But you said before that by telling your story, and this is how I feel a lot of times, it also makes it not secretive for the person that's coming behind you, right? Versus, I stand up on stage and I'm like, oh, you know what? I finally got my first boutique hotel project, but I don't say that my husband's a developer. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to call out a name. Damn.
No, we're not going to call out names.
Oh, I had to catch myself.
But that's bullshit.
But the fact is that everybody that most of us idolize in the very beginning, those names we know, their lives set up their success.
That's right.
I mean, like you said, the husband as a developer, or the builder, or the mother that was already a famous interior designer, or the money in the family. We can access that grit because that's where we come from. We don't have the luxury of not showing up like we understand what we're doing and work as hard as we did to get there, right? But I just feel like you're in that room because you're supposed to be. You're supposed to tell that story.
Didn't we talk about this at High Point?
I feel
when we were walking together, listen, this is the funniest thing. I love Michel because he always makes the 5-minute time. Even if we're just like crossing pace, like, hey, we'll hug and we'll walk where we're going next. And like, that's our time.
He's late.
No, it's not because
from place to place.
He's going
My High Point schedule is a fool.
It really is. And so we were both laughing at the fact that for the first time in our lives, and we've known each other for a long time, we were in jeans at High Point. And we were both saying we had trained ourselves to always be polished and like we never would have dared to. Now we still looked
100.
But
that's where we're from also.
Right.
That's where we're from.
Yeah,
we still look.
I see that.
I mean, like,
As you know, in California,
aesthetics are massive. So the further south you get, I mean, it is Sunday at church.
Sunday best.
It's that. Because you're never representing just you.
That's exactly right.
When you leave the house, our shoulders are heavy.
Especially when you like walk into ADAC or like I totally get it.
It's a real thing.
I think, but I think this episode is gonna be, or hopefully will be about. We're definitely naming things that we didn't have and people need to acknowledge, but we're also acknowledging what we do have. So like what you were saying, I had worked at a law firm where people make millions of dollars a year, right?
Yeah.
So my first real client was somebody who was an associate with me at the law firm who happened to move to LA. And I got to do an entire renovation in Hancock Park on this crazy house.
But that person already trusts you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people who hired me were like, oh, you're a lawyer. Or I know you're going to be a bulldog even if things go wrong, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to trust you because of that, right? The funniest is they hired a Korean contractor who pretended like he didn't speak English. And it was like a whole thing. And I loved it. I mean, like it was really fun to do and I loved the house. But, they had to have trusted me, right? Because it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And they're like, here's this Korean contractor, figure it out. And so, but that's a huge thing. So when I moved back to the Bay, half of my clients at one point, maybe a third of my clients at one point came from the country club I was a member at.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Access.
And I was in there hustling.
For sure.
Just having fun and acting a fool. But that's actually a lot of people hired me because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think those are the things that I'm saying. Like, I did not know this interior design existed. I had to go get a job that I thought made a lot of money because I needed to get out of what I had. But then over time, you develop all these additional privileges that you can use. And so I don't want somebody coming out of, south side of Chicago thinking they're going to be a designer tomorrow and people going to call them.
Right.
True.
Right.
Talent is great, but it ain't everything.
I love talking to young designers and pulling them aside and having that one-on-one conversation like this because we're sitting across from each other as opposed to...
Right.
I don't know. It's just different being able to say, okay, this is what I did. This is what you need to do. And there's everybody wants to know how you got started, or how you got to this place, how you get published, and how you da-da-da. And really, honestly, I don't think much of that matters anymore. It's really about showing up in a way that somebody's willing to invest in you.
Yes.
And not
and
just
then they
their
tell somebody
dollars,
else.
But their trust and their recommendation.
Yes.
The woman I met, it wasn't even design, to tell you the truth. She happened to be a marketing executive at a massive company here in Atlanta. And she was having a party for her husband, 40th birthday party. A friend of mine who's a hairstylist says, I do her hair. I'm going to suggest that you. And I was like, I'm in design school, but I was throwing parties at my own house. I love entertaining. We're Southern. It's what we do. And so I did all the florals, all the planning, all the da-da-da-da. And for the next, 6 years, every client that I had was in that room that night. And they're all executives. They're all doctors. They're all attorneys. And so I immediately walked into this circle. I just left the office of one of those clients who I still work with, who's also my dermatologist. I mean, the people investing in you because they believe in your passion and recognizing that your contribution is as valuable as theirs.
For sure.
Every event I go to, I'll send a picture to Michelle, and he's like, oh, is that such and such? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, oh, that's my client.
She was standing next to an old client the other night, and I was like, oh my God, they look
and
so
I'm
good.
I'm in there trying to hustle, and they're like,
already taken.
Michelle's already designed.
I've been here longer.
Yes. Already taken.
But yeah, I love that. I think that's really important to be in the right space, like you said, somebody who
in the room,
who trusts you, who
right.
trusts you to do something they might not even see you do.
Yes.
And they tell people about it.
Yes.
Because that's all it is.
That's how
we
it
have
starts.
a friend who they don't do any marketing. They don't post that much, or it's like really just to friends.
Killing it.
And killing it.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Large firm.
Yes.
It's all referrals.
It's all referrals, and you get in that circle of trust.
You
And
have to
I
know
have
those
screwed
people.
up a lot.
Yeah. But
Let me be clear. I screwed up a lot along the way. And even the perspective now of, maturing in my personal life and also, doing that that self-work, that inner child work, all that therapy and so forth, and being able to see yourself and be objective in a different way allows me to see what you guys were talking about, delivering a luxury experience.
Right.
You have to have had it.
You have to
You have to have.
understand
You have to understand it for sure.
You have to understand
Right.
it. And for me, it's always experiential. I heard your version, but for me, it's along the way. I'm curating a mood.
Yes.
And when I leave, you're going to feel the way I intended you to feel when you walk in this space. And if my narrative isn't clear, then I didn't do my job.
That's right.
That's how I feel about that.
Or if you don't buy into it.
If you don't see it immediately, when I'm
Yes.
walking in the room and I'm like, okay, I can lend them a little credit for this and I can lend them a credit for that, but I don't really understand. It's incomplete.
That's right.
I don't judge. I don't know what the budget was.
Right.
I don't know what the parameters were because we
Right.
know how it goes, right?
That's right.
But if you have the opportunity to be set free by your client, to go out and kill it the way you see it in your head, also massive
Right.
luxury.
That's right. And to add on to that, it is a massive luxury that's why we're telling you to study luxury to be prepared for that, right?
Yeah.
So if a client comes to you and says, not only do I want the luxury experience, but I want to see and feel and experience luxury in the product, you have to know the jump point, right? The reference point. Oh, okay, so that's these brands, these lines, this combination, this specialist, this person. You have to know how to pull those resources of luxury into your product or service so that's what we're trying to kind of make this conversation broader.
Right.
It's about tapping into the luxury resources and seeing them as a positive.
I also recognize that version of luxury, there may not be a point of reference for that. You invent what your version of luxury is.
Yeah.
I invented mine.
That's how you had a whole series that was called, what was it called? It was called
How
Lux.
to-
No, it was like how to Lux,
Yeah,
how to luxury.
How to luxury.
Yeah,
That's right.
how to
That's
luxury.
right. Thank you. Legitimately, yeah, that's your version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, Joy Street, I love what you do. I ain't that happy in my interiors.
Joy.
I'm trying to put a mood together.
all
This
joy.
girl got color everywhere.
Love it.
I'm trying to build everything on 3 colors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
That's
can I-
your
My thing
aesthetic
is about
and your
comfort. Funny enough, I want luxurious comfort, but I want to put my feet up every time I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Still. Like right now, I'm like, damn it.
But I like just a hint of pretense, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Just a hint.
I want pretense where only certain people know.
I fully accept.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I want you to not. I want only the people that know that this is a Tom Ford bag.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh my God.
No, you know.
I'm actually starting to think Tom Ford is too subtle.
No,
But
that quiet luxury term, that's a thing
No.
for people.
No, I don't believe in quiet luxury.
Yeah.
I want people to know.
Well, not logo, no.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like that's quiet luxury. It's just like those who know.
Oh, I got you.
Like, for example, I tell you, I mean, this is, like I said, this is not a flex episode, but we took a little family picture, right? For Christmas, in front of the Christmas tree. And I sent it to my friends, like, hey, happy holidays, blah, blah, blah. One friend wrote me back. She was like, sis, is that a new Bulgari bracelet on your wrist? I was like,
Wow.
damn, did you zoom in?
We had to.
We always zoom in.
But I'm saying, like,
Who done do this?
but I'm saying, though, but like, I loved that. Like, because I wasn't even like making a thing about
Yeah.
it, but it was new. And I
But
was
she
excited
called
about
you.
it.
She didn't comment that under your photo.
That's true. That's true.
That's your
Yeah.
friend.
That's your friend.
That's your friend.
That's what I'm saying. I guess that's what I'm saying. I feel like what you're talking about, like when you're in these rooms with people, you want to present a certain way.
Yeah.
They know.
Not even want to, have to.
Yeah, you have to. But here's what I will say. I want to make sure we are clear that you don't have to have a lot of money
No.
to have luxury, right? So, for example, I have this thing about like the experience. Like, when you experience stuff, you sell it better. You are able to tell your clients about it. But sometimes that experience can come from K-Biz or somewhere like that. So one of the things I say, because I love a good kitchen. I love a good kitchen. And I have sold, I don't think I have had a project in probably 3 to 4 years that did not have a sparkling water dispenser in the second
So
sink.
did you say that last week?
And or the last 2 years didn't have a dry clean closet.
Yeah.
And I do have the dry clean closet, so that's why that. But the sparkling water, before I had a need for it, I was like, this is magic.
Yeah.
There's no reason this should not be on the second sink. And so every client, once they don't know about it, and once you tell them, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I just had a client
Learn
put
from
2
you.
of them in the house.
That's our job.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But
To
it's like I
deliver things.
learned
That's
that
right.
from somewhere else.
That's right.
And I didn't use it, right? I mean, you know what I mean? So I think my point is I don't want people to feel sad about the fact that they can't go and do such and such.
Yeah.
You can still go learn and experience things in different ways so that you can serve your clients.
I understand
Definitely.
what you're doing
Yeah.
here. And I do think, though, that part of what we do is supposed to be aspirational.
Yes, for sure.
So those younger designers and the people listening to the podcast, if we don't know something, if they don't know something, we're putting them on.
Yeah.
That's our job. Each
That's
one
right.
teach one, right?
That's
And we're lifting as we lead. But there should be some aspirational value to this. Otherwise, why we need it? You and I
Yeah.
do more trade shows than
We sure
anybody
do.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh, we do.
But I could bring clients along to get all this amazing knowledge that we get. And I'm enthused. Like there are endorphins everywhere when I'm at K-Biz.
That's right.
I feel smarter for going to K-Biz
I agree.
every year.
I agree.
And I'm like, what took me so long to get here? If I could bring a client to a factory tour,
Yeah.
oh my God,
They can
I
understand.
would sell only Minoti.
Right.
You
right.
know what I mean?
Right. But that's how we keep our value.
We went on a factory tour, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna tell people about this." I think brands that are listening, every time I go to a brand trip,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
leave, even if I didn't like the brand or didn't know that much about the brand, and might never be my aesthetic person. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is knowledge, and I usually sell so much of that
much.
brand,
Yeah.
surprisingly
That's
so,
right.
right? Like not even like I'm just like, oh yeah, I forgot they had.
I'm
that.
drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes. I'm an ambassador now. I'm a part of your sales.
I told you I'm following
100%.
anyway. Like I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Can't
think
pro-
that builds value in what we do. That's why, we are a luxury service. We are kind of like a design concierge for our clients. Like when you go to a 5-star hotel and you go to the concierge desk, you say, look, I need some distilled water, the best place for coffee, what should I do with my afternoon, et cetera, et cetera. Their job is to know all those things. Like I could Google, but the fact that concierge is going to say, let me hold on, take out my pen. Here's where you're going for coffee. Let me call you an Uber for this. That's kind of what we do. That's how we elevate what we
One
do.
hotel snob to another.
Hello. You hear that bougie look?
Yeah.
The way I like to travel. But that's
I'm not bougie, so I don't know.
By far the most bougie on the couch.
Oh, that's why I'm looking at her.
You're a
face.
lie.
far.
You're a lie.
Kelly,
Kelly, please.
I'm from Thibodaux, Louisiana.
And I'm from
Okay,
Really,
my favorite
Abigail.
sandwich
I'm from
is
75th
coming from the
Street
gas station. Okay,
in Chicago.
whatever.
Listen, we are
It's real.
examples of how we
Some
can grow.
What?
You know when you start thinking about home, you're like, oh,
It's the
food
food.
immediately.
It's always
Yeah,
food.
Food immediately.
there's a Harold's Chicken Shack somewhere down here.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh
And-
no. Yeah, it's close by. I've had it.
I hear it's not original. Like,
It's not like Chicago, but it's good.
I think I should try it.
I went to
Tried it.
Willie
Let's
Mays
know.
twice last week in New Orleans.
You went where?
Yep,
Oh.
you know Willie Mays?
Yes.
I went twice.
I know the food. You can't.
Okay,
beat it.
we
I'm
way
sorry.
off topic.
Anyway,
Okay, maybe we should move on to like the resources
Yes.
that are not monetary, right? Like we started a little bit with that, but like
Mhm.
the idea of family. We talked a little bit about family connections, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about a community, having a community or just a village
yes,
that you can use for, honestly, for childcare.
Yeah, just help.
For giving you time and space to work.
Yeah.
Right.
There's also other little elements of choices you made in life or didn't make in life, right? I'm like, man, people without kids, they get so many more hours, right? Listen, no, it's in. I'm a little envious, right? But I just feel like they have more hours. The number of times my child comes to me talking about something stupid, I just be like, I was focused.
First of
right?
all, you raised the perfect child.
She really did.
I
I love
am
Zoe.
obsessed
Me too. Me
with
too.
Zoe.
Oh,
Me too.
she told me to tell you hi.
Hey,
Yeah,
Zoe.
I know. We love us some Zoe.
Before we
Let's go.
Before we move on from the design part of it,
Yeah.
I just want to say that, it's not about having a lot of money, right? But I want to have a lot of money. I want to be clear about that.
Clear.
And I always want our clients to have a lot of money.
Right. Ooh,
But
yeah.
it's about a thoughtful room. It's about, if you don't have a lot of money, what you do have is talent to understand and anticipate what your client is gonna need in this space, in that space. If I know this guy comes home and he wants to put his feet up,
Yes.
there's a footstool
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
If I know she has a glass of wine but don't want to walk back to the kitchen and refill the glass, a liquor cart rolling around. Like,
Oh,
it's
shit, that's a liquor
thoughtful.
cart.
You don't.
Oh
need a
my
liquor
God,
card.
I got a, what do you call that? One of those sample sale lists from Clay the other day, and there's one on there. It's
Wait,
so
you
good.
got it?
He sent it to me early.
Well, see,
That's why you stole my mirror the other day.
She said stole. You got to stop using words like
that's
that.
harsh. That's
That's a hard
It's
one.
harsh. Is that really true? Did he really steal?
Yes.
I just bought it before her.
I know.
But legitimately,
Anyway, yeah.
thinking
I do
thoughtful design work is also massive luxury. And that's your gateway into getting that client that has the money to afford the aesthetic as well as.
You know what? We say, it's from a consultant. It's like, when clients are like, don't want to tell you their budget and all that stuff. And you're like, I'm not here to spend your money like blindly, right? Like, I'm not trying to just make your project more expensive. I'm here to spend your money wisely.
Right.
I'm going to be able to tell you, like, maybe we don't need to spend all of our money on the wallpaper, but we do need that piece of jewelry on the ceiling
Yeah.
and that lighting, right?
100%.
And that's where I think we're like kind of what you're saying too. Like, I'm gonna curate this room. Like we have a policy that when we give you the budget, if you want to lower that budget, it's not by taking things out of a room.
Yeah.
We will take an entire room off
Absolutely
that budget.
right.
But I don't want you walking in your room like,
I tried that recently, and I like that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was like,
it
you know what?
works.
I don't know that we can stretch this budget enough to include the powder room. So let's put that in our next phase because I don't want the integrity of our work to suffer.
Absolutely right.
Based on trying to squeeze one more
That's
thing
right.
in there.
That's right.
And they heard me.
Yes, and they love that. And that shows them you're being a good steward of their money and that you are
That's the word.
wanting to make sure that it's complete.
Yep.
You don't want to stretch your dollars over more square footage where each room feels like it's not
just not
really
done.
singing. You want one really well top to bottom, but everything in it works and is perfect. And then we're going to move on to the next. And I start my conversations with my new clients, letting them know that that is okay. I'd rather us start with the scope that we know we can kill
Yeah.
versus like you telling me all the things you want to do, but I've got to stretch unreasonably.
And it's hard at the beginning because
hard.
you want the project.
That's right.
You don't want to scare them. But you use the key word. A client used it on me once. She says, I just want to be sure that you're being a good steward of my money. And if you make a client understand that you understand, stewardship.
Yes.
And it's not just about your biblical
That's
relationship
exactly
or your
right.
spiritual
No,
relationship.
it's so true.
That it's also about your client, and understanding how hard they work.
That's right.
In order to hire you.
Yep.
And you remember why you wanted to be in this position.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
but that's also why you don't want them to spend all that money and come into empty room or unfinished rooms, because that's what they're going to remember.
That's exactly right.
There's always like they're going to remember all those hours you spend and all the good design you came up in terms of the layout. They're going to walk in that room and be like, "This is all right."
Yes,
but was it worth this? No, it wasn't, because it feels unfinished.
So that girlfriend comes over and be like, "This is
and that's the worst when someone they trust comes in and goes, "You paid that." That's when everything starts to fall. But two things I want to say. I know two siblings. It's always a sibling. Two things.
The brother you forget about?
One, to continue to, I think it's really good as we kind of like tease out this definition of luxury. One thing that you said that I think is such an important word to connect to luxury, because it can be applied in any delivery of that level of service, is anticipation. Right. Mm-hmm. And we talk about even when we hire people to work for us, like how much are they anticipating what we need? Or do we have to tell them every little thing, make every little jump? And there's a luxury in being able to trust that somebody's going to anticipate. But if you're wanting to work at the luxury level, demonstrating that you can anticipate is huge. The other thing that you said that I thought was so important was this idea of, or maybe Kelly said it, what are the resources we have that are luxury related? And one thing is our ability to outsource, to create the capacity to really provide
I love
service. And that's her superpower. I don't know who does it better.
She's kind of amazing.
She's amazing at it. I always tell her, I'm like, you can figure out how to outsource any and everything. Like, she blows my mind. She has saved hours of my time with the things that she teaches.
I was telling you something recently, and she said, "Oh, I've been using that for years."
I know. We're so late.
I can't remember, but I was like,
"You all underestimate how lazy I am."
No, you've turned it, as Erica says. Erica Ward says you've turned it into a superpower.
Yeah,
we gonna let.
I don't like it. Also, I'm clearly not strong because I don't go to the gym, so I can't. So one of my favorite things is, and actually this is going to be part of my whispering report, is there's this company called Lug, L-U-G. It started in the Bay. Also because I lived in the Bay, we got access to a lot of things early, right?
Right.
They will come within 30 minutes to your house and move you anywhere. They will move a table. They will move you across the street.
That's a boyfriend.
I'm telling you, with a person with a husband, how long I'm going to keep asking him to move this table, right?
Yeah. Well, your husband has a big job, and the bigger these jobs get, the more money you make.
You have to outsource that.
That's why you call somebody.
I have to call somebody to change a client's light bulb sometimes because the husband just won't do it.
Yeah, and they have more money than time.
Yeah,
I literally, but it's magic.
And he
come all the time.
You don't ask.
Right.
Yes,
but then he also can't be like, "What's this happening?"
Right. What's this?
And it's really what it is, right? Literally, I will call them, and they come. It's like it's magic.
It's
magic. It's like they'll come and drop these vases off to you that I still have from 6 months ago.
Now, why don't I say she stole my?
You see what I'm saying? You see how he didn't even put
I love her.
Right. I'm watching
because that's not true.
Do you have any ideas of luxury resources that can be defined as a luxury, but it's like we're using them as a superpower? Like, we talked about buying back your time with things like Lug.
Yeah, I love the time thing. I heard you guys talk about that a lot. And I feel like as much as experience is for me, the luxury, having more time to have the experiences.
It's the ultimate.
Is the ultimate.
Yes.
I was talking about this yesterday. I used to paint rooms.
Yeah.
I used to get up on ladders and paint and apply the wallpaper and all these things. Like, what were you thinking? I was a one-man show.
Yeah, you had to do it. I mean, you get it done.
There's something magical about applying some of the experiences you give to your clients to yourself.
Yeah.
I used something magical
wallpaper my own house all the time.
And
then I stopped and I was like, this is magic.
Yeah. I got home from New Orleans the other day, yesterday. And I sent Cirillo, who has been with me for probably 15 years. He is my most trusted contractor, right hand. And I sent him a couple colors, labeled the walls before I left. I got home to a new place.
Oh, my goodness.
The whole vibe was completely different.
That is incredible.
I share everything with
her.
This one.
I know.
I share everything with this one, but I'm afraid she might steal Cirillo.
Oh, no, I won't. This is for my health.
Okay, good.
Because you know what? I'm moving out of the game of even helping finding contractors at this point. Like, we used to do all of that. We put a whole construction bid set together, and then we would have these so we're actually moving away from that because it's, you just can't.
It's hard.
You can't approve people, right? Or they might be great one day and then they go to the next client and you're like, who are you?
Right.
And then this client, and of course, it's the client that's the most difficult.
Yeah.
And now you got somebody that you recommended.
I feel like I have such great respect for experts.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason we have jobs is because we're experts and people are trusting us to do what we do.
should be.
Right.
So I don't try to do anything anymore that an expert should be.
Oh, that's such a great
and
point.
I feel like it's
such a great point.
It's design karma, right? Or entrepreneurship karma.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll call it that.
Yeah.
Because I shouldn't be painting. That's not my expertise.
Right. And you would never
I don't try to be my own dermatologist.
Yeah.
I don't try to dry clean my own clothes.
I love this so much.
So
that
you
I
can't
outsource.
You shouldn't be doing it. Yeah.
And if I don't outsource anything, then I won't have any recommendations for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and we won't have
right.
any people to swap and share and say, oh my God, you should use this service because, and I think that's how we all stay in business and build community as entrepreneurs.
You know what? I said this to someone years ago, like until I became a designer, and, you know, putting yourself out there as an expert, I never believed that.
Yeah.
I remember putting in hardwood floors in my San Francisco house.
What?
I remember going to
Joanna
Home Depot.
Gaines. I'm sorry, Kelly. What?
I remember going to Home Depot, getting a sander, having my husband bring it up on the shelf because it's so lugs.
I do not know her.
And sanding and doing all this stuff. Because I was like, what is that? If a boy can do it, I can, right? Like that kind of thing. Like it was like, it's a book. I'm going to change this light fixture kind of thing. And it was, and I think there is a phase for that, right? I had more time.
Yeah, more time than money.
Than money, because I still had all those law school loans. But like it was fun. I didn't have Zoe yet. Like we were just kicking it, right?
Yeah.
You could not pay me. I still love a good power tool, and I still will do something.
Yeah.
But there are so many things I'm like, I could.
I did not know that about you.
Me either.
That is
We
what
know
I
that
see
version
in
of
Zoe.
Kelly.
I built shelves.
That's what I see in Zoe.
I had a whole woodworking thing. I have a chop saw. listen.
Go on.
I still like it, but I ain't got the time.
Yeah.
I don't have the
Or
desire.
the interest.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a hunger that's in us at the beginning that doesn't exist always. I've been trying to pull it back out. And, you know, it evolves into something else. And usually it's wisdom.
Yes.
We're lucky, right?
Yes.
But I want some of that into whatever I'm redefining for
What's
this
the next thing?
chapter.
Yes. And that's what the whole thing is. That's
this
what the whole
podcast.
podcast
That's why I'm
is.
here.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I
it.
love what you guys are talking
Thank
about.
you.
And I'm so glad you didn't say, Michelle, what's next?
Right.
Because that is such a massive question.
Agreed.
No, this season is about the messy middle.
Yeah, it's like we're discovering.
Oh, I am here.
We are discovering what
I have created a freaking mess. Having a great brand, right? Quietly existing as an interior designer, moving from fabulous client to the next. And then I decided, I want to do product. Nope, that's not enough. I want to do TV.
Woo.
And I have confused my client in such a way.
Oh.
And now it's time to throw it all at the wall.
Figure it out.
And start again.
Yes. And the other thing I love, you know, I have dipped my toe in television and people ask me all the time, oh my God, do you love it? Would you do it again? And I'm like, in some ways, I love it because I feel like I show up and it's light work. It's me being me. Both TV I've been able to do. Yeah. And it's well received and it's like I get to work with such great people and I'm not doing the heavy lifting of the labor. It's just me being paid for my mind. But do you know the only arena in my life where I work for somebody else is in television?
100%.
When I am in television and in that mode. Oh, and that
because you're working for them.
But when I'm in television in that mode, somebody else tells me when to wake up, when to be in a car, how long to work,
you might
16-hour days. I might have to send an alarm. I do set 3 alarms. I'm like,
you ain't gonna be right. But it ain't gonna be me.
So it's a trade-off.
That's
how much of that do I want to do?
Way to look
no,
at
it's not just interesting, Kelly. I hesitate to say this, but it's true. I actually resent it because it's
no, he's not lying.
It's not
I get
just
so much.
It's not just your production company.
Yes,
it is the network.
That's right.
It is also the viewers.
Right,
and it's also the social media numbers. It's the network executives. It's all these different people. You have more bosses than you've ever had.
Sure do.
And your manager. You want to make sure your managers get enough of a cut of something.
So right.
That she wants to keep working.
Truly.
So you have all these additional bosses and pressure, and the demographic of that network has never been my client to begin with.
Exactly.
So I'm adjusting who I am
now you got
to that viewer.
About this. Yes.
To that viewer. And but all that said, all that's true on my left hand. But on the right hand and higher, it's a massive fucking privilege.
Absolutely.
The job.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely
if I saw me on television in Thibodaux, Louisiana, I would have been. My life would be different.
Life-changing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like...
It was Christopher Lowell. Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Bald white guy?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, like...
It was Southern.
It was Southern.
I also didn't watch stuff like that. I mean, let's be real.
That's true. But it's those things. Like, it's buying back your time.
Yeah.
It's being aware of, how that creates a space for creativity. You get back. It's being aware of what you sign up for and how that either puts you in the position of controlling your time or now having to work for someone else who gets to have an opinion. And I think all of this conversation is so great for us. I think it's a good opportunity for us to move into our whispering report, because I think this is where we talk about kind of what we feel called to either pour more into or release from our life to create the space for the soft life. Before we do that, though, I want to say this one thing that I think was great on our notes. The idea of girl math, how we use girl math to justify purchases and different things. The soft life math is when you look at something and you say, but what is the cost of peace? What is the cost of my time? What is the cost of my energy? And that's how you assess whether your agreement to do that thing or be a part of that thing or offer that service is something that's going to set you up for the soft life, or if it's going to set you back to where you're not doing it.
Yeah, I think that's I always think of that as a better version of, you charge $300 an hour or whatever, and this gets you an hour back. So, and it's only $25.
Oh yeah.
I always thought that's BS, because what I'm going to get that hour back due, and I'm going to sit on that sofa, right? I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to use that hour necessarily for this. But I know that I don't like to do this thing. And by paying somebody else to do it, it makes my life better. I think that's bigger.
Yeah, that is.
You know what I didn't say about the last question is that I struggled with the idea of how to schedule my days. Monday means this to everybody else in America.
Right.
Every corporate person.
Right.
But for me, it means I think I want to paint.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get in front of my easel and I want to create something new here on a Monday.
Yeah.
But on Sunday, I'm at it all day.
Right.
For clients.
Right.
And deciding that it's okay for me as a creative to function in the space I'm inspired to.
I love that.
Is massive.
That's massive, and it's a huge
That's
luxury.
Massive freedom.
It's a huge luxury and a privilege to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point of this.
I will say, I want to be the Debbie Downer to both of y'all right now. In a way, in the sense of like, we are glazing over how difficult it also is to be a business owner.
Oh.
And we are glazing over the deep, and we don't want to get into them.
So I have
to be here all day.
10 people in my firm, then I have 4 people, then I have 2 people, then I have 3 people, then I like that.
Yeah, or
all the time.
They making mistakes. They are not coming in.
Yeah.
They're not responding to your clients. And
I would never want to give anyone the false impression that that's easy.
I just want to say that I think that entrepreneurship is glamorized in a way sometimes that kind of what we're saying about even how you get started. That people need to be real, like very real about.
Right.
It is definitely gives you all that freedom.
Yeah.
But it's also, because we also need employees, but it's also great to go into a job, finish that job, leave, and go the fuck home.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to worry about it. Ain't nobody calling
all the time.
you.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't who I was, I would go work for somebody.
That's actually a luxury too.
Exactly.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I believe in partnership more than I ever have. I don't need the vanity of the shingle at this point.
Yeah. Every time I see him, I was like, what we going to do together?
Like,
so we got to keep working this hard.
So we don't have to keep working this hard. Legitimately, no matter how bad the day is, I always think to myself, I'm going to get to go home.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
right.
I'm going to get
to. That's right. I love that.
my house.
Yeah. I love that.
They love me there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Everything there. They love me.
Yeah.
and it nourishes me. So,
So that's, I just wanted to say, because I
great.
think that a lot of time, I mean, we all do that now, because it is nice. It does give you so much freedom, but it's a lot of work.
It is.
And it's a lot of hand-holding.
Do you have clients that can see it and appreciate that?
I do. I feel like now I really
I do.
I really feel like it's important to me that I'm aligned with people who have shared
100%.
values.
I realize
That's something I look for.
Entrepreneur
really
clients either, though.
They don't have to be. This morning, this client, insane modern home off of Parent. Insane. I pull up to my car, looking like me, to his house, and you know what he said? Poor Michelle. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I've been there 3 times watching my wallpaper installer do the same thing.
And he recognizes that sucks.
Exactly. And I showed up at 9 o'clock like I was supposed to. He slid in at 10:30.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there.
Yep.
And I have to bill him.
Yes. Yes.
I have to.
Yes.
But he's talking about poor Michelle. Yeah.
And he's saying poor Michelle because unless I'm managing this, it's not going to go well.
Yep.
I love that.
And he needs to see that I'm invested.
That's
right?
a great client. That's a great client. But that's the work of just making sure you're aligned and you really are careful with who you're marrying yourself to in this client partnership. You are married. Like, we're going to be together for a long time.
Yeah, but I think I will say, as a person who we're joking about how I won't shop with clients, and I have become friends with many of my clients, but I do not like clients who want to become your friends, right? And so in terms of the way I vet clients, it's not that. Like, I get it, and I love that. Like, I love the idea of they understand all the stuff we're doing, but I don't have clients like that. I think, and so I don't know how I would transition to find that, but it's so appreciative.
I don't have clients that don't want to be friends with me.
Yeah.
All my clients want to be friends.
Well, let me rephrase that. I feel like I went through a phase where everybody wanted to be friends with me.
Yeah.
But I just didn't make it happen. I'm very unavailable.
Okay.
Now I feel like, especially since I'm in a new city, I probably would enjoy that a lot more. Yeah.
The connection.
It's kind of a natural thing because I'm a talk. Right? I enjoy people.
Kelly, you're personable. Yeah. And also Southern culture dictates
that's fair.
That you guys break bread together sometimes.
True that.
And that you show up at some of their dinner parties.
Yeah, I had 3 clients back to back that didn't drink. And I was like, first of all, every gift I got is a drink. Like, how you going to get these bottles of champagne?
It's a food group at mine.
Well, and so
every gift we give
probably was my client.
is wine.
Yeah.
Every gift. You get a bottle of champagne when we start construction. You get a bottle of champagne in the middle of construction. Say, this shit sucks. Have a glass of champagne. Right? And I was like, God, we got to come up with
I've been struggling with the holiday gift this year. Maybe it's just as simple as a glass bottle of wine.
You are the third person I've had this conversation with, because I feel like people are either in the season where they have everything they want.
Yeah.
Or it's like, what could I possibly give them that is attentive enough, like shows them that I know them? Like, but do I do that much? I don't know. I'm struggling.
I'm here for the favorite things. Like, I love the idea of learning the client, but if we love Oprah for sharing her favorite things with
you should share your favorite thing.
You should share your favorite thing. I do it with my friends when they come over, so just do that.
Okay, I love that.
And tell them why.
I love it. The personal gift is the end of the project gift. Like, that's when you give them something that's highly specific.
Yeah.
But for holiday gifts, you ain't got time for all that.
No, I don't think so either. Nor extra money.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, that's true. The end of the year is rough. Okay, so let's talk about this whispering report. Okay. The theme for this whispering report for this episode is luxury that makes life easier. We kind of glossed over it, but is there anything that you do for yourself? Take away, we talked about the clients, we give them all the things. But for yourself, is there any luxury that you do or would like to incorporate that makes your life easier?
Not tangible.
It can be whatever.
I'll be honest.
It can't be tangible?
It can be whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, the non-tangible for me is radical vulnerability.
Oh, my.
Radical.
Wow.
And I've been getting better and better at it, and it's making space for everything else, the joy.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, I thought about the New Year's resolution, and I was like, I just want to laugh more. The fact that I recognize that I don't laugh enough was a problem.
Yeah.
And so to me, radical vulnerability,
that's powerful.
It makes it really easier. Sometimes you don't want to have this difficult conversation, but what it does is hurting you much more than it would be the person this vulnerability is landing on.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's making me better and more human and not just because designers are almost objectified in a way that we're not real people, and especially
if you have a personality like that, like yours, where it has become a part of your brand.
Arianne, I met your personality way before I met you. Way before.
I don't even remember the first time we met.
So nice. Like, we were at High Point and she was doing these interviews back to back to back to back in this John Richards.
Yes, that's right. You have such a good memory.
And that's where we met. And I was like, who is this woman? And then again, with the Hoken, right?
Yes.
And then again, and yes, you were the first.
Thank you. Yeah. I think so.
And then again in New Orleans for that show house. But legitimately, I think that radical vulnerability is making room for all the things that I want to be. And not just carrying around so much internally.
Yes.
So it allows me to be a better brother, a better friend, a better listener, a better creative, and making space for all the things I want to be. Yeah.
That is
I like that.
So good.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I would say, like, at this, and we talked about, at this stage in life, luxury equals outsourcing, help, right? It includes a lug. And, me and grocery stores, I'm allergic. So Instacart, having an assistant, AI.
Yeah.
Actually, even work-wise, we use Upwork for things now that I probably would have taken the time or hired somebody to do. I hired somebody to put up our Christmas lights this year.
Okay, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I practically wanted them to come inside and put up the tree, too. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's those kind of things. But I also feel like, kind of going with the non-tangible, it gives me the space, and my truest luxury, and as we were preparing for this season, is I am slowing down.
Yeah.
I am not trying to do all the things. I don't
Because
need
you're older or because you're wiser?
No, neither probably.
Your
I don't think it's
value
older.
change?
I think it's me trying to like acknowledge that always rushing, always doing things in a way that is exhausting, right? Isn't serving me. And I don't want to live like that. Right. I don't want to be anxious. I don't want to feel like I'm always behind. And so I feel like because I have this time now, I am able to say, you know what? It's okay if I don't finish this thing this quarter. I'm going to push this to next quarter. I'm going to get this new product out
because
in
Q1.
The
benchmark you set for yourself anyway.
Yes.
But I think it's because, but it's just having the time, right? So like, why am I stressing myself out for this?
Yeah.
We were, even for this, we had all these grand plans and we were going to do this and that's for the podcast. I was like, let's keep it simple. The first season worked. Let's try to keep it as simple as possible. You know, we do need somebody to do our makeup because one, I don't know what I'm doing for show. But like, we don't need to get all the stuff. We don't need to do all the things. I'm going to go to Dry Bar on Monday. You know, like those are the things where honestly, before I would have been like, no, we said we're going to do this. And then we would have been stressed and unhappy.
And people can feel that. That energy is transferred.
Yes, it sure
I
is.
wonder if some of who you are and how you are is that analytical attorney brain. With like creators, we're always attempting to assert our value. No, I got to do everything. I got to put my hands on everything in order to be able to charge this price. Or say, this is my hourly rate. And you're coming from a place of, I already know that I'm baddest in the room. Not only am I creative, I'm smart because da 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 da.
Right.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit of that. I mean, I think obviously I just have a lot of confidence, warranted or not, because it still is different, right? So I did a presentation actually on a Saturday for a client, which you know is not my thing. And we went to that place where you walk your plans.
Yes. You told me about that.
And I had spent, that was actually, I'd say up super late because I had this like brilliant idea at the end. I created 3 additional floor plans for us to walk in addition to the contractors. So let's say I had 2 additional floor plans. And I was like, because it just wasn't sitting right with me. You know, the architect, you're like, you're trying to be respectful. You don't want to come in guns blazing. But I was like, this is not sitting right with me. I wouldn't want to live in a house like this in the sense of like the things they were giving up.
Right.
And so I did all these things. Then I had one that was mild. Then I had one that was their walls. Who knows?
Yeah.
And we walked it. And the client was like, oh my God, this is so much better.
Oh.
We changed significant portions of the room. Even the architect and the contractor were like, oh yeah, that feels better. Right.
Yes.
And it was like, and this is where my confidence probably didn't need it. But I was like, you know what the hell are you doing? You got to remember that.
You know
right?
what you're doing.
But it also told me this is also the part I love. I love the space planning.
Oh my God.
I love the hard finishes.
All day.
I don't, to be completely honest, you can put whatever pillow you want on your room.
Yeah.
I can help you.
But I'm not doing it about you. That would be the partnership.
Yeah.
I love space planning, but I would give it to you because the tactile experience for me is like orgasm. I need that.
I care what the sofa looks like in terms of shape and what size it is.
And that it fits.
And it's colorful.
Yeah.
And it's only
that's where
that part.
That's where we would really.
I wore this red jacket for you.
We knew that was the
not the white refrigerator. But yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of where I feel like I have given myself some grace.
Yeah.
In terms of not feeling like everything needs to happen right away.
Yeah.
I am in a comfortable place in a lot of my life right now, and that wasn't for a few years. And so let's enjoy this. Let's not make it that my house needs to be ready for Christmas. This is my family. They coming from
you love it. Yeah.
They fine.
If you if you don't love me already, you shouldn't be here.
Exactly.
That's right.
And you gonna come in here judging me, you can go home.
Okay, Louisiana, I need to hear you.
Okay, yeah. What's yours?
Okay, so mine is because I have really gotten to this, I feel like a great point in my career where I'm doing a lot more traveling, whether it's on panels, talking markets, and doing some television work. I realized I was spending a lot of time, especially when I got the chance to do Extreme Makeover. I actually was the stylist's hands on the ground, like feet on the ground, right? So the stylist was in LA. All of our shoots, for that show is all over the country. So I had to do all the scouting. I had to go to all the boutiques, all the shops, try on the clothes, take pictures, send them to her, whatever. And It took so much, and I didn't know what I was doing. It took so much time. So I take pictures. She'd go, oh, no, you need this cut, this amount. So I said, you know what I'm about to do? I'm going to find some shops in Baton Rouge, in New Orleans, favorite cities that I frequent, and I'm going to meet. When I walk in, they say, do you need help? I'm going to actually say yes. Yes, I need help. And make relationships so that they can be my stylists. And this year, all the traveling I've done, I will tell you, I have a fantastic lady who she will text me pictures and be like, this came in today and it's got your name all over it. It's going to fit you cute.
Yeah.
When I go in, they make me feel like a baby doll, like they've got outfits pulled. And I never stress anymore about when I'm traveling, what I'm going to wear. Mm-hmm. Even when I look dressed down in jeans, it's because they picked those jeans for me.
Yeah.
They picked that blazer for me. So incorporating a stylist was a luxury that bought me back time. I know that's
you're hiring an expert,
but that's hiring an expert.
That's that thing. Yeah,
I didn't go to 5 million stores and go try on 3 different sizes. She pulled everything that and every time I've walked in, she has made me try on something that I would have no, ma'am. I'm not even. I would have rolled past that on the rack so fast, and then she puts it on me. It looks like it was like I look taller, slimmer.
She's your exterior designer.
She's designer, and that is like something that I'm just like. It taught me, like you said, it taught me so much about. She saves me time.
Yeah.
She gives me confidence.
Yeah.
When I go and I have to do a photo shoot or appearance, I know I'm gonna look good. You paired that with a makeup artist.
Yeah.
No, I am.
And then we're looking at it.
Tell me nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So that little luxury.
Mm-hmm.
She's being compensated. She takes care of me. It's all good. It's mutually beneficial. It's a relationship.
Yeah.
That has been the biggest luxury that has made my life easier, especially with how much I'm on.
Yeah.
And how much, if you've ever been on, how self-conscious you are about every little, you're like, oh, everything. But to know that someone took care of me in that way and that I'm going to show up and be really pretty, I think that's.
So clearly I'm the only person that's not famous up here.
Whatever.
Or been on TV.
Yes.
But, I'm going to not feel a certain way.
Because you don't care.
Because you don't care.
Because you don't care.
Truth.
That's fair. But no, this has been
amazing. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming in with us. I'm truly.
I feel like this could be 2 hours.
It could be 2 hours, and you brought so much more depth than we even planned for this episode.
Oh,
your ability to be radically vulnerable. Like, is that the word you use?
Because I'm a worry.
That.
But that vulnerability,
your heart is so beautiful. So thank you for being here with us. And we hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, all the things. And we hope you join us for another episode of the Hustle Adjacent Podcast. Bye.